second tip, and this is when we want to be able to express our desires and the things that we want personally. And I find it to be the most challenging. And one of the reasons for that is we don't want to come across as selfish or trying to exclude our partner. Like, let's say, for example, you want to hang out with your friends, but you're afraid to share it because your partner might misperceive you as like, oh, are you bored with me? You don't want to spend time with me? You want to go out and hang out with your friends? Or sometimes we want to have our own space. We want to have an alone time, but we're afraid to share it because it might come across as we don't want to be around our partner or we're tired of them. Hello, beautiful people. It's been a while, and I'm so happy and excited that I am back with another video that I would love to share with you all. And this is how to get what you want. And I would love to share three simple tips that have been profoundly helpful for me when it comes to expressing and also getting the things that I really wanted. And one of the struggle that I've been experiencing in the past is I feel shy to ask for it. Second, I don't feel that I deserve it. And lastly, I feel like it's too impossible. After reading a lot of books, watching YouTube video, listening to podcasts, and following some of the amazing influencers that have really impacted my life and given me new perspective, such as Gay Hendricks and Caitlin Hendricks. I've been reading this book that they wrote together, Conscious Loving. I learned so much, and it actually allows me to put some ideas in like a strategy of how to be more comfortable in asking for what you want and also allowing myself to receive it fully and to remind myself that it is definitely available out there and I deserve it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in to the first step on how you can get what you want. Now, in a close relationship, we all want to be seen, loved, cared, and appreciated by our partners. And sometimes we don't get that. And it's also very hard to ask for it. Usually, it creates a fight, and that's when you can lash out your partner that, oh, you're not caring for me anymore, you don't appreciate me, blah, blah, blah. And last month, I noticed Eli and I had been really in a lot of tension inside our relationship. And it even reached to a point where I don't feel being around him anymore. I don't want to sit in the same place with him anymore. And when I noticed that, I was like, wow, I feel like we're heading in a wrong direction now. And it really worries me. So I started reflecting and really noticing what is it that really causes for us to have so much tension between the two of us. And I realized that it happens whenever he gave me feedback about the work that we're doing together. And I saw and I realized how my instant reaction is being defensive. And when I start noticing it, part of me is saying that, oh, it's his fault because he always give you like feedback here and there. He don't appreciate you enough, or like maybe you shouldn't be sitting next to each other a lot of the time. Maybe you need to be separated. And I was like, no, that's not really what I want. I want us to be close. I want our relationship to strengthen. So I decided that, you know what? Let me take full ownership in this situation. So that's my number one tip, is really to take full ownership of whatever happens, 100% ownership of creating the scenario. If you experience that you've been fighting a lot, there's a lot of tension, you're not feeling loved, cared, and appreciated, take 100% ownership of that and ask yourself, what can I do better next time? And it's like committing to improving yourself instead of wanting your partner to actually act this differently or change differently. And the magic there is when I start taking ownership, all of a sudden, in just a span of a week, I noticed the shift in the energy between me and Eli. And I think it was 2 days ago that really inspires me to create this video, is when he just hugged me and he told me like, wow, I notice how I can easily appreciate you more this time. And I can see how much work that you're doing. And I just appreciate that. And I was like, oh my God, it is really working. It is so effective. And that's why I get so excited to share this with you all. Because, this is not just something, yes, it is something that I learn from the experts. And I don't want to just share things just because an expert told me so. And I want to be able to experience it myself and see it works for me. And it did. And I'm so excited for you all to be able to embody this commitment as well of improving yourself and really taking 100% ownership of creating the situation. May it be the fight, a conflict, or even the creation of a beautiful, positive things in your life. I hope that one is helpful. And by the way, this is not very easy. It took me such a long time to really be able to consciously decide to gravitate toward committing in improving myself and taking full ownership. And you don't have to be able to do it in an instant. It's definitely a process. And I still drift from time to time in blaming, criticizing, and not taking full ownership. Because again, it takes so much like willpower. But honestly, it takes so much willpower to resist. But if you just let go and drop and like acknowledge, like, yes, I've played a role in creating this situation, and therefore I will commit to doing the work in improving it. So, again, if you want to feel love, seen, cared, and appreciated, the tip would be to continue improving yourself and pay attention when there is any tension that's happening inside the relationship and take 100% ownership of creating the situation and improving it. I hope that helps. All right, now jumping into our second tip on how to get what you want, and that is wanting to be able to express what you desire, what you want for yourself. This is the part that I really struggle with because, again, I feel shy to say it and I feel like I don't deserve it, or, it's selfish for me to ask for it. But before we jump into that, I just want to also acknowledge and say thank you to my loving subscribers who've been supporting me in my journey. This is on my video. Find out if you already found the right partner. So this is from James to you. At first glance, I did not think this video would be of much value for me, as I am already in a relationship and not looking to find true love because I already have it. But after watching the video, it gives me advice I can use to help strengthen and confirm that I have found the right person for me. Thank you so much, James, to you. And I am so happy and grateful as well that you seem to have a loving relationship with your partner. Good luck and God bless to you. All right. So going back to our second tip, and this is when we want to be able to express our desires and the things that we want personally. And I find it to be the most challenging. And one of the reason for that is we don't want to come across as selfish or trying to exclude our partner. Like, let's say, for example, you want to hang out with your friends, but you're afraid to share it because your partner might misperceive you as like, oh, are you bored with me? You don't want to spend time with me? You want to go out and hang out with your friends? Or sometimes we want to have our own space. We want to have an alone time, but we're afraid to share it because it might come across as we don't want to be around our partner or we're tired of them, and so many other things. And what I learned that is very effective when there's something that you want for yourself and you're struggling in expressing it to your partner is to really improve and learn how to communicate it better. And I have read a lot of books, listened to a lot of podcasts that have really helped me work out that communication skills. And again, I am nowhere near mastery, but I am definitely putting a lot of effort in being very intentional and really getting better, at least every day. Like if there is something that you want, instead of sharing it in a demanding way, you're actually just expressing that. So basically, it's like first thing that you have to do is to make a commitment and a decision to lean in to that scary conversation. Because again, most of us, our default is to not talk about it, to just bury it inside us. And we only get to express it when we're in a fight and angry. But if there's something that sparks inside you that you actually want to express to your partner, first make the decision of, you know what, I want to express it. And once you make that decision, I don't know, like something in your brain just would create an opportunity for you to actually think of what's the best way for you to do it. And even if you don't do it well the first time, even if you it happens and it creates conflict, even because again the other partner might misperceive it, just the act of you being in a habit and in a practice of expressing what you want is already so much better. So I hope that that tip is helpful for you. Now, jumping on the last tip that I want to share, and this is when we want to have a lasting relationship. A lot of people are operating in fear. And what do I mean by that is when we get close to someone and we feel like, oh my God, this is it. This is the one. I'm really, you know, so in love with this person. I really want to step our relationship to the next level. And then that person all of a sudden just did something that triggers you. Let's say if you live together and your partner arrive later than you expected. Most of us, since we're already triggered, is we lash on them. We get angry with them, like, oh, what did you do? Why are you late? Are you meeting other people? Or maybe you're not that kind of person who would really speak out loudly, but internally you're having all those thoughts that, oh, I think this is not really working. Like, now I'm concerned, is this person really truthful and honest to me? She seemed not, you know, coming home on time, or she seems not to be responding on time as it used to be. Pay attention when you are having those kind of negative thoughts, because that is showing that you are operating in fear. And most people, when they start seeing those negative like signs of the people that they think is the one for them, they would self-sabotage and even end the relationship before it goes to another level, or like point out the things that they don't like in an angry and accusing and blaming way. And what I found very helpful in this situation, I have this experience with Eli, especially on our first 2, 3, 4 months together. I really see how dedicated he is, and I see our relationship really flourishing and getting better. But then part of me is starting to feel afraid, like, this is too good to be true. I don't think that this is working. And first time that I bring my kids to his place and we're all in the same house together, and he made a comment of just asking my kids not to eat in the couch, instead eat in the table. I was automatically very defensive and feeling hurt, and just told my kids like, oh, you're not allowed to eat there, he doesn't want you to eat, blah blah blah, and all of that story. And I was like, whoa, like just that simple thing already triggers me. I feel like I am intentionally looking for something wrong in our relationship, because again, it seems to be going so well. And when I had a sit down with Eli, instead of me operating in that fear, I decided to be vulnerable. And that is my third tip to you. Like, when you are already feeling like the relationship that you have is getting to a point where it's getting serious, or you've been together for a long time and you are experiencing a lot of tension, conflict, and fight, instead of expressing your feelings in an angry way, because again, if you express it in an angry way, it will just fuel a fight in an argument. Do it in a vulnerable way. Because, when we are afraid, it is because we are afraid to lose the person. We are afraid that the relationship may not work. That's really the underlying part of it. When we are angry with our partner for them not coming home on time, for them not responding to our message right away, for them not showing or expressing their love to us, we are afraid that they may not love us. We are afraid that they might leave us. And instead of reacting angrily, negatively, be vulnerable. Express your worry to your partner in a way that's also owning your feeling. Like, hey, I actually feel very worried that you did not come home on time. Like, I am so scared to lose you. I am so scared of what might happen to you. So express it that way. Or let's say, I am so worried of not hearing back from you after 10 minutes, because usually you respond after 2 minutes or a few seconds, and it made me feel so scared. Maybe for other people, it's so hard, because I know it's so hard for me to be vulnerable in front of other people. But as I've noticed when I am really pushing myself to express how I feel, and especially when Eli and I are having conflict, instead of me stonewalling and really getting angry and mad, when I just drop it down and tell him, like, you know what, I actually feel scared that whenever you gave me feedback, I feel like I am not good enough for you. I feel like I'm not capable of things that you expect me to be. And I am afraid that you may lose respect towards me. And I'm afraid to lose you. You know, if you express your feeling that way, I think your partner will switch from being angry, they will switch into more loving and compassionate towards you. All right, so that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to continue creating more content similar to this, please like, comment, and subscribe to show your support. And also, I would love to invite you to become a member of Gladys on Love Facebook group. And I have my Patreon account as well. And I'm planning to share and create videos, dialogues, and some type of a guideline in my Patreon so that it would really help you guys in your journey of finding love and also having more love towards yourself. If you have any thoughts, feel free to comment it in the comment section below. And if there's any idea of a topic that you guys would love me to talk about, feel free to share it in the comment section. Thank you so much again, beautiful people, and have a wonderful day. Love you all.